Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. Nope. One moment, please. So, oh my gosh, everybody. Is it Friday? It is, right? I've been calling it Friday all day, so we'll just hope for the best on that one. All right, let me get myself sorted out here. Oh, there I am. I'm on. We love it. All right, just a second here, everybody. I'm still putting on my nail here. This one decided it was done. I understand, but all right. Good afternoon. Hello. Welcome. Hello, Conchi. Oh, hello. I'm just gonna grab my rings. I wish I could show you all my little ring collection, but alas, the TikTok doesn't like it. So there you have it. Willie B, hello, welcome. Come on in. I'm picking out my rings. Ooh, that's a good one. Hi, Mary. Hello. Welcome. 1 a.m. in Scotland. Oh my gosh. Off to bed you go. There's a lot of exploring and wonderful things for tomorrow, I would imagine, in Scotland. I wish I could have made it to Scotland, but I didn't. I didn't make it that far north. Good evening, Unsweetened Auntie, which I love. That's a great name. I'm going to steal the name. Just kidding, I'm not. But it's cool. Hi, Nancy. All right. I got to focus everybody for a minute here. I got to focus. What ring am I going to wear? I need to stop screwing around here and get my rings on. All right. Here we go. This looks good, I think. I think so. All right. Hello. Happy Friday. Hello. Hi, Jennifer, Bruce Wayne's mother, Candy. All right, well, there we go. Wish we could join you because, we could all use a little sleep these days. For real. Well, good evening, everybody. I do have a lozenge in my mouth. I do try to tell people that, just in case you've got the thing about the lozenge. Whatever. I don't want people to be like, oh my gosh. I'm doing pretty good, dude. So far, so good. Time to learn. That's right. We've got a couple things. But yeah, so I do want to give you a heads up on the lozenge. This last time that I got sick, everybody, yeah, it's kind of messed my vocal cords up a little bit, so I need to try to take it easy. But hello, Kaya. Hello, welcome. Oh, thank you so much. New, appreciate that. Oh, I forget now. I forgot. It's one of those moments. It's been one of those days today. My misophonia isn't bothered. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I appreciate you telling me that. As I continue to call it Mesopotamia, which I know is incorrect, but I think it sounds funny. We need all the humor we can get, everybody. Hopefully, your week has ended. Not crappy is my hope for you. Now, my refrigerator, for some reason, I don't know what's wrong with it, but the hubs is like, oh, let's take it apart and I'll take a look at it. I'm like, no. You need to call somebody whose job it is to take care of refrigerators, right? And so occasionally you may hear a loud popping sound. And for me, I can be anywhere in the house and I'm just like, duck, right? Because it sounds like pew pew, but that's not what it is. It's just my fridge. So don't be worried about it. ACLU Kansas driver's license. Really? Oh, love that. I love that. Hello, Mr. Toby. Hello, Big Grandma. Hello, welcome. Let me bump these up. That's really great. That's very exciting. We've got a few cases that are going to really be coming in. Representative Crockett has had, I think, 4 lawsuits in her world right now, 2 against her, and then 2 that she has filed. So I think any of those cases with her involved also are going to be really, really huge cases for voting rights. So, oh, shower tomorrow. You mean rain showers or your own shower? If it's your own shower, oh my goodness. I hear the pain, man. I totally do. I have to have like a Snickers bar, like a mini. Don't get, we don't want to get crazy here. But I have like a Snickers bar and then just jump in. Like I don't even process it. And then when I'm done, it's like, oh, that was not big of a deal. But yeah. So if you're talking about your own shower, I hear ya. Well, yeah, you gotta give yourself a treat. For sure, because it's hard work. Yeah, it can take you out for, half your day or almost all your day for some people. Texas Supreme Court order voting 7-9. No, I didn't. Tornadoes popping up in Michigan, I do believe. Oh, they've had some in Texas. All right. For sure. Am I glitching? Oh no. Oh no. Man. Oh dear. How am I now? Am I still glitching? Did you go out and then come back in? This TikTok has been on the struggle bus. Okay, it's back. Okay, good. Good. No, I'm just getting started, Mama Vanna. Just getting started. Okay, it's fine for you too. Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of like doing some... Even when I've been on other people's panels and such, I've had to go out and come back in a few times before. So, now what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, shower. Good luck with that for anyone that needs to do that. All right, everyone. I've got a few things here. So, in the interest of protecting everybody's privacy, of course, do we have anybody here in the chat from Georgia? So not the Georgia over by the Russia, but the Georgia, the state in here. Well, thank you so much. Hi, Lumpy Blankets. Hello. So if you could give me just like a, hey, I'm from the Georgia, that'd be great. I'm testing it because I just am wondering. Okay, Willie B. Oh, yeah, VC, of course. Yes, thank you, Jennifer. Okay, and it's okay. Yeah, it's okay if you're not. No worries. I wanted to go over the homicide case. Not this week. That's funny. We'll see how things go. I really would like to go through the indictment here, right? So we had a major homicide case. Boy, I tell you, Georgia gets the homicide cases. And that, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but the fact that they catch a lot of people seems like it'd be good. So, Michiganer, okay. I probably didn't say it right. All right. So from those, and of course, we're all inclusive here. You don't have to live in Georgia to be awesome. I'm just gonna put that out there. Who has everybody heard about this case though? That was going this past week. So the Colin Gray case. This is the father who was charged with homicide after giving said kid pew pew, and then the kid went and pew pewed up a place where there are other children, of course, and this is a pretty big deal because we've had the Crumbly case, and I think that was Michigan, where the dad and the mom were tried separately and both were convicted. So this is like our next huge and the biggest one that I've seen. It has been this case where parents are now being held accountable for what happens in the schools. It was Michigan. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yes. So, yeah, for sure. So I wanted to, yeah, Michigan. Okay. I want to go through this, which is his indictment's not actually that long, but I do want to go through. I think there's some learning points, which is, my goal, right? For each of these counts, he's got 29 counts here, but did not have the time to pull the verdict form. So I'm hoping for those of you in the Georgia that after we get to the end of our indictment, you might be able to let us know what he was found guilty of, or if it was everything. So that's the one piece I'm missing here. So if anyone can help with that. Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to it. And again, those of you in Georgia, feel free to share your thoughts and how your community is feeling about it or doing whatever. I know Ken, who just flies around all over the place. He was convicted of all 29. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, that's a lot. So I know Ken is like bouncing around. He's probably in like some other cool like TikTok live. But if you see him, grab him because he also knows about the Georgia. But I think we've got a good little group here to help us. All right, so found guilty all 29 counts. Yeah, the evidence for sure. So what I have here is the indictment. Now, we've talked about indictments before many times, which is only the level of probable cause is needed in order to go forward, right? So our grand juries come in, they hear the evidence only put on by the government. Based off of that, they find a probable cause to believe this person committed the offenses that they've set out by the government, okay? So, and we all know probable cause is much lower than beyond a reasonable doubt, but it is enough to go forward on an indictment. And so that's what we've got here. And then, spoiler, he was found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in this particular case. So we'll go through that as well. So let me get this down here. So we have the state of Georgia. Georgia here. Georgia versus and I think we had some information coming out, and Georgia squad let me know, but the mom was not charged. Is that right? That's what I think we talked about that yesterday, VC. That the mom was really not very much involved. And when they really want to get into a better chance, I think, of winning, you don't want to have another case like hand in hand, like honestly, like the Crumblies, right? So the mom went first, then the dad went. Because what happens in those kinds of cases is that then the defense blames the other person, right? So I didn't do it, my wife did it, or I didn't do it, my husband did it. But if you only have one person who's actually been charged, and it's not like this information is going to be like, and clearly we've not charged your wife. No, not necessarily that. But the implication, everyone, on the grand jury is from the area. So you've got some idea that perhaps she wasn't charged at that level. She asked for them to be, right. So there was a lot of press going on. So to me, it makes sense. That's another one of the rationale that I believe Jack Smith, I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix my cord. Jack Smith was using in the DC case where we had a violation of civil rights, which was being charged under that 4-count indictment. And it was only him. There were 6 other indicted people and like 31 other people. So there were a lot of people involved, but he chose just to put Mr. Orange on there. And that was to just streamline everything. You're going after the big fish. The other little fishes could come in later on down the road. So there is a strategy to who you bring to court, who you leave behind because you're going to pick it up later, or it's not worth it. It'll have a negative effect on your first case. So that's just kind of some inside information, insight on how we run cases here in criminal courts. Let me get this number down here. I'm going to try not to do too much in the weeds discussion, but I can't help myself. So I may just be outright lying to you right now, everyone. It's just such a good learning experience here. Domino effect. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, too, I think because this case was so enormous, 29 counts. I mean, that's enormous. And for the guilty verdict to come back on this, heck yeah. I think we're going to start to see that domino effect. I think we're also going to start to see how important and how seriously parents take this, or guardians, right? So I think it will be very interesting this. I know I don't usually lie, but sometimes when I say I'm going to be done, it's not the right time. The weed eater. Yeah, thanks, El Jenny. We all could use some of that weed eater. All right, so I'm up here being like, blah, 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 blah. Here, let's get into the case. I do want to say that the indictment here was filed on October 21st of 24. So you can see this is ongoing. And some people, I know for Orange's cases, right, his criminal cases as well as the other ones, there's always this question, statute of limitations has run and blah, 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 blah. But it's actually not that unusual with huge complicated cases for the statute of limitations to be told or to have some kind of waiver in place so they can take the case forward. And that needs to be benefiting the defendant ultimately. If the defendant's against it, forget about it. The defendant drives the criminal case car first, because that's the one that could go to prison or be unelect. All right, here we go, everyone. Now, these are all, again, out of Georgia. I am not in Georgia, so we'll just ask our squad if we've got some questions here to go forward on. So here we go. I'm going to move this down a little bit, but I want to make sure everyone can see the comments. So here we go. We've got the state of Georgia versus Colin Gray. All right, here. Now, as we go through this, I'll just tell you what I've noted that's different between the states and this particular one as well. We do have also witnesses, I believe. I think we might have witnesses. I'm not 100%, but we'll see. The first thing, just right out of the gate, everybody, is you can tell sometimes which jurisdiction you're in because we have a VS here. So in my neck of the woods and other places that are close to my neck of the woods that I've been to, and even law school, we usually just say Georgia v. Gray is how we would pronounce it because we're so busy. We've got so much to do. It's like drop the S and that saves you half of a second. So this is saying that this is not in my jurisdiction because that's just not how we do it. Some judges will even say how they want that set up. It's not that big of a deal, but no, Murray, no. I never saw that movie, and I'm not sad about it. He is the dad, though. So let me just hit these real quick. 29 counts. And so you can see how they're split up, and then we'll go through and look and see what they've got for probable cause. So count 1, murder in the second degree. And I'll go through the generic kind of overview of each of these different offenses as we go through. All right, everyone? So we've got second degree murder here. Number 2, count 2 is cruelty to children in the second degree. Let's keep track here of our degrees. Second degree murder is, that's bad news bears right there. Next, just straight up murder in the second degree. And I'm wondering, we've got 2 murder in the second degrees at this moment. So I'm wondering if the people that the kid pew-pewed are being set out as second degree homicides or murders. And that would make sense. Cruelty to children in the second degree, again. So we're talking about kids here for the cruelty piece. So number 5, involuntary manslaughter. Number 6, reckless conduct. So this could be there's a lot of stuff. If you've got reckless, that's an intent element here, which means you're not paying attention, nor do you care. Involuntary manslaughter, that's kind of, I'll go through, I'm like trying to already teach the criminal law out. Manslaughter's less, involuntary's less than a regular. So we've got 2 involuntary manslaughters, a reckless conduct again, cruelty to children in the second degree here. And those are counts. All right, here we go. Here are the unfortunate souls here. Counts 9 through 26 are all cruelty to children in the second degree. So this is the cruelty piece. And so, and that's different, of course, than our manslaughter or involuntary. So I'm going to be interested to see how they hash that out. So these are now counts 9 through 26. 27 through 28 are also together here. And that's reckless conduct again, right? We're talking about several different levels of homicide here. That's what I think makes it so good to have it as a learning document, because there's a lot of things going on here for us to like kind of go through and discuss. So here we go. I don't know. I mean, usually if I would assume, because I would just assume, and I could be wrong, Georgia Posse will have to tell us, but I could be wrong. But it seems like Georgia does have capital punishment there on 27 of 29. Okay, thank you so much, VC. Yeah, no rush. Okay, Georgia does then, Murray. Okay. Now, just as an FYI, also here, when we have a capital punishment case, we have what they call a bifurcated trial. That means on one trial, they go through, they find the guilt, and then they come back for like a mini trial, although it's a rough go of it, in order to determine whether or not capital punishment's appropriate. So you've got jurors in both the bifurcated roles, all right? So if anyone remembers Jody, what's her name, Arias, I think? She had one of the best examples of bifurcated trials, because that second one for the capital punishment piece, like the jurors were like, we're not sure. So they had to go through that a couple of different times. So that just, again, to remind you, we're not going to talk to the jury about capital punishment while we're going through the case. That's going to be prejudicial. So what we're going to do is we're going to bifurcate it. Yes, that's right. That's absolutely right. And so then on the other side, you'll see how they have held. So we'll see what happens in the future, because I don't think that has been set out yet. All right, everybody. I'm trying to get my papers here, but I'm dinking around too much with them. It's getting annoying, even for me. All right, here we go, everybody. Count number 1. So the grand jurors selected, chosen, and sworn for Barrow County, Georgia, charge and accuse Colin Gray with the offense of murder in the second degree. In that, again, I'll just put a piece in here and I'll come back and explain that second degree piece. In that, said accused in the county aforesaid on or about the 4th day of September of 2024, irrespective of malice, so it was not in intent, right? So premeditated intent, did cause the unalive of a Christian Angulo, a human being, while in the commission of cruelty to children in the second degree, as alleged in count 2 of this indictment, in violation of, and then this is the Georgia Code here, section, contrary to the laws of the state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. All right, so let's take a look here. I've got my whole. In case I haven't said it on this live yet, I do not recommend cleaning your desk off. It's not good for you. It's not good for the people. All right, couple of things here. So, of course, when we're looking If they're saying murder in the second degree, we've got to have a first degree. So let's just take a look at homicide in general, right? Because there are a lot of different types of homicide. And if you're in the murder zone, you're going to be in pretty big trouble. This is the the worst thing that you can do. And what you'll have is the murder in the first degree. I'm just going to give you a general idea here. So the first degree, this is going to be premeditated, right? This is going to be also the felony murder elements, felony murder rule there, which we've got. And also if it's a particular person, right? Like law enforcement. And I think in some cases, in some states, if you are like ambulance or if you're assisting medical assistants, EMTs, I think, I don't want to get the name wrong, but anyone in the medical profession and they get hurt or unalived, trying to fix whatever's going on. That's also another one. So this is the highest level that you will get. And if you are in a capital punishment state, this is where you will have the question about whether or not, they get to live anymore. Right, that's the first degree. Now, second degree murder here is kind of a weird thing because if it's still murder, but it doesn't fall into these categories of first degree, then they're like, well, all right, it's murder, so it's just second degree. So kind of it's a catch-all for all the rest of the murder that doesn't fit up here. Now, all of this is under the homicide umbrella, right? Some people might say homicide in the first degree. That's incorrect. What you're looking for is the kind of homicide. And so here we've got murder, first degree, second degree, and then, let me move over so I have a little bit more room here. And then we have manslaughter, right? Manslaughter. These are all teaching words. TikTok, teaching here. Here we go. So we have manslaughter over here. Manslaughter is going to be, we're looking to the intent and to what's going on. That recklessness is going to come in on manslaughter as opposed to, planning it out or as opposed to like heat of passion, right, in the moment. That would also be under a second degree homicide. But manslaughter, you can have voluntary manslaughter. So you knew what you were doing could harm somebody and did it anyway. And then involuntary manslaughter. Voluntary. Now, involuntary manslaughter was you didn't really know what you were doing. You should have known, but you didn't. This is a lot of our homicide cases where we've got, it used to be our OWIs, or operating while intoxicated, would be the voluntary manslaughter. And I think some still qualify, but also that could be the involuntary manslaughter. A lot of times this is going to be a wreck when there's a car accident and there is someone who has unalived. So this tends to be kind of the catch-all here for manslaughter versus the voluntary manslaughter. This one's more like what you're going to see with some bar fights and such, right? Colorado, it also covers reckless or careless. Excellent. Yep. Because again, for the murder, your intent here is going to be pretty malicious. So you're going to have a pretty, that's not how you spell that. Intent. No, it was. I was, all right, there we go. Intent. And it's also, of course, the worst kind, right? These are like, oh my gosh, what did I do? That was stupid. Meanwhile, with murder, it's like, yeah, well, this is what happened. And so, I planned it. I thought about it. Sometimes if you even just take a weapon and you're in public and some kind of a, pew-pewing situation occurs, and, we don't know who started it. We don't know who pew-pewed and you brought your pew-pew. So sometimes that might fall into a second degree as well, more so than a manslaughter. You'll have to look this up for your state, but these are the 4 primary levels of homicide. All right, so we've got murder, voluntary manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter. So in this particular case here, let me get my... Right. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know that I can say that. You're go. No, I'm sorry. Are they getting a Willie B? See a face on the screen. Oh no, no! What's happened? Is it the filter? I don't think I can turn it off. No, no. Oh my gosh! All right, where is it? Is it showing up here? Maybe it's somewhere. I don't want to, this time of the night on a Friday. Oh, thank you so much. There, we'll see. We'll see if this is better or not. Oh, thank you, thank you. Too, if you sent it to email, right, I may ask you to just translate. But thank you very much, BC. All right, did I get it? Sometimes if you move the papers around, because I can't take any filters off me, and I tell you, this app is something else. Let me peek real quick. I just don't want it to be annoying for everybody. So let's see here. No, no, no. Nope, nope. I don't even know what that is. Nope. Nope, nope. Maybe this one. That's a nope also. Sorry, everyone. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Yeah, I don't even know how to pull it off here. All right, well, look somewhere else. Don't let it drive you crazy. I know it's Friday night. We've probably got some gummies going on. I don't want anyone to get hurt. All right. So she is tripping. Oh my goodness. All right. Well. Oh my gosh. All right. Here we go. Here we go. So back in it. We have murder here in the second degree. The reason why, and we'll probably see a lot more of this as we go through this indictment. Here, of course, we have the cause of the unalived here, but it was while committing cruelty to children. So this is the reason why it's at this level what we would call a felony murder here. So they were committing a felony of harming the children, right? Cruelty to children. And because of that, an unlawful unaliving occurred. So we're in the felony murder case. That's why you don't want to go rob a bank if you've got friends who are like, let's just pew pew everybody. Like, don't do that at a bank. You're going to have some troubles. If you blend something like a felony, like robbery or cruelty to children, if you blend that with a homicide, yeah, you're going to be in the first degree, and it's not going to be looking good for you. It's really not looking very good at all. So be careful about that. Sorry, everyone, pulling here out my highlighters for the next ones. Okay. Oh no. Are you getting booted? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of extra effort that we're needing to do over here on this app. Yikes. All right, everyone, we got count one. Count one is homicide, so it's a murder in the second degree. I might have just said first degree. I apologize. Second degree. Now, cruelty to children in the second degree. This is going to be its own crime. Because there's so much variances among states. Like, I could talk about what my state does for cruelty to children, but it's going to be different because Georgia has their own set. Every state has their own set, right? And how we define cruelty as well as how we define children, these kinds of definitions are different from jurisdiction to jurisdiction as well as from crime to crime, right? Because if you're under 18, you could be considered a child. But if you are forced into marriage when you're 16, you're not a child anymore. You're a grown-up. I'm not sure if anyone heard the angst. But so we've got a lot of different things. You'll have to take a look at how they set it out here in Georgia. So we're going to look and see what happens. In that said, accused in the county of aforesaid on or about the 4th day of September did with criminal negligence, all right, that's the intent level, criminal negligence cause Christiane Angulo, a child under the age of 18 years, cruel and excessive physical pain by consciously disregarding a substantial and unjustifiable risk that his act of allowing Colt Gray, his son, a minor, over whom he had custodial responsibility, access to a pew pew and the pew pew's loading stuff, ammunition. I don't even know anymore with this app here. After receiving sufficient warning that Colt Gray would harm and endanger the bodily safety of others. And thereafter, Colt Gray did pew pew said child with said pew pewer in violation of Georgia code, contrary to the laws of the state. How awful is that? And again, let's get a highlighter here so we can pull that text out. What's happened to this? I feel like that's unacceptable. What? Come on. All right, here we go. So the cause here, I think it's important to look at the elements. Okay, what? That's not good. Hold on. Let's see if I can get it better here. Man, my whole world isn't quite right. No, don't do that. Here we are, it's green. Age of 18 years, cruel and excessive physical pain by consciously disregarding a substantial and unjustifiable risk that his act of allowing, this is a big deal. This is huge. This is, we've been trying for decades to try to hold the parents responsible. And it's not ever been utilized. The state's doing individual stuff. Every once in a while you'd see something, but you would see a ton of parents of the victims would be suing different pew pew companies, but they were all like, nope, you can't even sue us. So the fact that this is happening, I mean, this is like a major turn here in our pew pewing situation. So he had custody, he had responsibility and access to the pew pewer and such after receiving sufficient warning that his kid would harm and endanger the bodily safety of another. And thereafter, the kid did shoot said child with the pew pewer in violation of law. Right? Again, it's such a huge deal. Right. Well, Michigan has the thing about Michigan, the Crumbly case for the dad and the mom, is they did not have this many charges against them. They had much higher level, I don't know, I want to say they had like maybe 4 or 5 counts for each side on, being reckless and allowing the kid to have what the kid had. But 20, what are we at? 27 here? No, this is on 29, unheard of. This is the first time this has happened in this country. So we have our first victim also here. And I will, I think it's better to respect those who have passed. So we'll call CA here. Right. Oh, I know. 27, 29. Got it. Thank you so much, VC. 27 here over 29. Right. So this is, again, our cruelty to children. And I challenge all of you to pull up your state and just put cruelty to children, law, all right, soften it a bit, or legal question, something along those lines, in order for you to see what your jurisdiction has for this particular offense. This is obviously a felony here in Georgia. Now, say what you will about Georgia. They've got some pretty strict laws, actually. I mean, super strict, in my humble opinion. Here, all right, so we've got a cruelty to child, which is what makes this that second degree murder here because of that. So we're in a second degree here because we have our felony being done there. So the grand juror selected, chosen, and sworn for a Barrow County, Georgia, charge and accuse Colin Gray, again the dad, with the offense of murder in the second degree. So it's coming up again. So this is going to be another victim here who didn't make it. In that said accused in the county aforementioned on or about the 4th day of September, irrespective of malice, right? So that's another intent level, did cause the unaliving of Mason Schermerhorn. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. A human being while the commission of cruelty to children in the second degree, as alleged in count 4 of this indictment. So we have 2 children here, and we have another in the second degree because of the commission of a felony, which is the cruelty to children. Right, so these both of these victims then each have 2 code sections each. The cruelty to children, which is the felony that bumps up this unaliving to murder in the second degree. All right, does that make sense, everyone? Sometimes this stuff can get really messed up, but all right, so we've got CA in count 1, CA in count 2, MS in count 3, and MS in count 4. Again, with that same language, felony language, cruelty to children, that bumps this up into a felony murder case here. All right. This is just so awful. Okay, let me make sure. Right, this is the same exact language. So we're going to do a cut and paste as the language up here. So I will keep us moving forward. It's not twitching. Shake your eyes, dude. as I tease all of you funnily. I don't think that's a word. It's been a long day, everyone. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Count 5. We got the first 2. Sometimes you just gotta laugh, right, everyone? This is horrible what we're going through. What we are looking through right now is the worst of the worst when it comes to this kind of a crime. And so sometimes we make a little bit of a light of it in order for us to get through it, right? Going through, oh, of course. Yeah, this is a huge case. I mean, again, I can't emphasize that enough, how this is groundbreaking when it comes to the Pew Pew issue that we have here. Next up, grand jurors selected, chosen, and sworn for Barrow County, Georgia, accused Colin Gray, so the dad, with the offense of involuntary manslaughter. In that said accused in the county aforesaid on or about the 4th day of September of 2024, while in the commission of an unlawful act, which is the reckless conduct. All right, we've got to highlight that. So again, we're putting those 2 together for this charge to come through. As alleged in count 6 of this indictment, did cause the unalive of Richard Aspinwall through. As alleged in count 6 of this indictment, did cause the unalive of Richard Aspinwall. Oh dear, are we all right? Are we okay? Am I back? Sorry about that. All right. Okay. Sorry, that was a phone call. I thought I turned calls off. I was wrong. Optimistic always. Absolutely. Okay, we're back. Sorry, that was a phone call. Apologies. Like, it's after hours. I'm not taking any calls, people. Here we go. We've got reckless conduct, which is what's, again, elevating this charge. And our victim here is R.A. All right, so we have involuntary manslaughter, which means this reckless conduct, and let's take a look at how they're defining that. But again, this is what bumped up this homicide into involuntary. So here we go, charged the accused, the dad, with the offense of reckless conduct in that said accused in the county aforesaid on or about the 4th day of September of 2024 did unlawfully endanger the bodily safety of Richard by consciously disregarding a substantial and unjustifiable risk Wow, that's some pretty heavy language here, too. That his act of allowing Colt Gray, a minor over whom he had custodial responsibility, access to a pew and the stuff to make it pew after receiving a sufficient warning that the kid would endanger the bodily safety of another. Oh my gosh. And thereafter, Colt Gray did unalive the victim with disregard, constituting a gross deviation from the standard of care which a reasonable person would exercise in the situation in violation of Georgia law. So the language they're using in here is also the language we use, and I went through a little bit the negligence elements needed, right? So saying that the intent there, they were aware there was a problem, they shouldn't have done that, they had a duty to take care of that kid, not let the kid have a pew, but that didn't work out. Now, because of this is what's making me think that there could very well be a lawsuit coming as well, right? Because we've got this kind of language already in count number 6. So it's definitely possible we could see a civil case coming through. Although if he's going for life, well, they could still do it though. How old is a child? No, I'm not sure. How old? Under 18 is all I got. 14. Okay, 14 at the time of the offense. Okay. Northeast of Georgia. Okay, got it. Yeah. Let's put it down here so we don't forget. Okay, here we go. Count number 7. Again, this is 2 counts for this person who was unalived. Now we've got another involuntary manslaughter in the county aforesaid on or about the 4th day of September, while in the commission of an unlawful act, reckless conduct as alleged in count 8. So these two again are connected to each other. Of this indictment did cause the unalive of Anna Christina Arimi. Oh my gosh. So we'll call her ACI here. All right. Did cause the unalive of Miss Arimi, a human being, without any intention to do so. That's where we're getting into our involuntary manslaughter piece, it looks like, in violation of this. So let's go back for a second here. I want to make sure I got the language right. In this indictment, did cause the unalive of Anna, a human being, without any intention to do so. So again, that intent element, it looks like he wasn't intending to cause her unaliving, but, circumstances created that. And I'm wondering just a second over this one. Did we miss that here on the 4th? We've got to find the intent. The bodily safety by consciously disregarding. Okay, so you're like, why do you keep talking about it? Because I'm trying to pull out the intent that's different. So this one was consciously disregarding a substantial and unjustifiable risk. Here is act of this versus this one. There was no intent. So we didn't have an intent, but it did occur. So that's how we've gotten to the involuntary manslaughter road here. So we've got another one here, and then count 8 has the reckless conduct here as well. Did unlawfully endanger the bodily safety of this person, consciously disregarding, right? So we've got that piece in the reckless conduct as well. All right, so these two again go together. So it looks like 2 counts per person who was unalived. So we have in the first, and as you can see, as this is coming together, you can see it's looking like this person up here, CA, might have been the person that they were targeting. So there was just a target here in this situation, and then the others were just there because that intent level is down to, well, not this one, both of these two, is down to manslaughter. So that's what my guess would be. The CA and the MS, those were intended unalives. And then over here, we have the manslaughter pieces, so it wasn't intended. Well, right, El Jenny, right? You know, I tell you, I never thought I'd be the person to be like, you know, the video games, but sometimes I wonder, and what really makes me wonder about them is the pew-pewing games and like the motorcycle games and the knowledge that like a lot of ICE people have used those for their own training. So that is worrisome when they're still like pew-pewing their own legs during training. So I'm just gonna put that out there as well. That's the only video games that I want to call out because of the cubes. They need to have a note that says this is not for real life training. That's what really needs to happen there. Okay, here we go. Moving down the road. Count 7 and 8 again go together. And then we have count 9 here. So 9, 10, 11, 12. And remember, the last two are big batches, right? So, thank you so much, Soul Rose. Thank you. Here we go. Grandeur selected and chosen. Again, I've got my page turned, so we've got a little bit easier reading. Oh, thank you, Big Grandma. I needed it. No more Tang for me today. I'm maxed out. All right, there we go. Thank you for the reminder. You need more training. Well, right? I mean, come on. Oh my gosh. Anyway. All right. Soapbox put to the side. Chosen sworn for Barrow County, Georgia. Charge and accuse again the father with the offense of cruelty to children in the 2nd degree. Now, we didn't have manslaughter or a homicide before this one, so we're going to have to see how far they want to take it. So in that said accused, again, the father, in the county of aforesaid, on or about the 4th day of September, did with criminal negligence, there's our intent again, cause minor for, all right, that's what I was looking for. I'm like, how come we've not blocked these names out? All right, so minor for a child under the age of 18, cruel and excessive mental pain by consciously disregarding a substantial and unjustifiable risk that his act of allowing his kid over whom he had custodial responsibility access to pew-pew. So that's what he's looking at. So we got criminal negligence. He knew there was a problem. He didn't care. The child got hurt because of that. Let me double check here. So the harm that was done is mental pain, excessive mental pain. So it looks like, I want to make sure this child is still alive. Justifiable risk, blah, 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 blah. Harm and danger, right? Discharge inside of the classroom. Oh, okay. Well, I don't see here where it says that the minor unalived here. Yeah, I think we just, oh, yes, thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. So, oh my gosh, the roses will forever be my favorites now. So we've got here, again, excessive mental pain. So I'm going to say the child was forever harmed, but not unalived. Here. All right. And there we go. Right. Moving down here, we've got count 10. Again, and I've not seen any 2 adults and 2 kids unalived and lots injured. Thank you. That helps a lot. I haven't seen any of the media on this case, so I really don't know. But that makes sense. So this child was harmed significantly. All right, count 10. We have the dad with the offense of cruelty to children in the 2nd degree again. And it's looking like a lot of the language is the same. In that said accused in the county aforesaid on or about the 4th day of September of 2024 did with criminal negligence, meaning you should have known better, caused minor 5, a child under the age of 18, cruel and excessive physical and mental pain by consciously disregarding a substantial and unjustifiable risk that his act of allowing his kid, a minor over whom he had custodial responsibility, access to a pew here. So we've got another significantly harmed child here, minor 5. Okay. All right. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, looks like we've got, I'm going to bump this forward just a little bit because if we finish this piece out, right, he gave him access to a pew after receiving sufficient warning that the kid would harm and endanger the bodily safety of another. And thereafter, the kid did discharge a pew multiple times inside a classroom occupied by said child in violation of the law here. All right, so these are the rest of the pewings occurring actually in the classroom here. So there we go. So this is going to be minor 6. I'm going to fast forward us a little bit here because it's going to be the same language for each minor depending on how much harm was done. So we've got mental pain, consciously disregarding. So this is physical pain here. This is mental. This is also mental. So not that that's less. It's just how we categorize the harm to the children. So mental here, same language, by discharging multiple times inside of a classroom. So we have that in there as well. Yes, very, very similar user to the Crumbly case, but this one's much more significant. It was charged higher levels, 29 counts as compared to, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the Crumblies getting found guilty and, being put away for a little while. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is huge. I mean, that one's like, yes, we're starting something. But this one, this level of homicides, this is the next one. Right, not exactly. See, and that's why we would have the cruelty to children. We would also have child endangerment. Would have been something else in my state that we would have added in this case because of how we define it here. So it's all a little different. We have another cruelty here, right? So we had mental harm done to minor 6. And we've got another one. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. And then we have minor 7 here. Excessive mental pain here. Yep, mental. All right, so we don't have any physical pain. I'm not going to diminish that mental pain and say physical's worse. I will not say that. Whatever, because I'm not a doctor. And whichever way it needs to go is what we need to do. Right. I mean, we're on minor 7 here, right? Minor 7, like, come on. Here we go. Next one, cruelty again to children in the 2nd degree. And again, the 2nd degree because we've got excessive mental pain here. Right. And then we've got a minor 8 here. So let's just, again, keep track of what we're doing here. Excessive mental pain. Man, it's going to take a long time for these children to be able to function. It's just, oh yeah, cause mental pain to every single person in school. True, especially kids. Right. I think it also has to do with how they were situated, honestly, in the classroom, based off of what I've seen in other filings. It depends on like how close you are to the actual nexus of the worst of the harm, and then you start kind of going further out and out. Can be one of the reasons why they set it this way for the grand jury. But this is awful. Again, I'm glad we already have a spoiler. He was convicted here because this is awful. Next, we've got another cruelty to children in the second degree. Here for minor 9. Oh man, minor 9, under 18. Here, cruel and excessive mental pain. Okay. So, again, we're saying this excessive cruel pain is what's allowing for the cruelty to children's charge against the father of the kid that did the pew-pewing. So, again, this is landmark here. So, we're going to do excessive mental pain here. Nonprofits to help kids. It's horrible that we have to have. Oh, right. And, on a shoestring budget these days, right? I can't talk about that either. That's going to make me too mad. All right. Next, cruelty to children in the second degree. In that said accused here again, on or about the 4th day of September, did with criminal negligence cause minor 10, a child under the age of 18, cruel and excessive mental pain by consciously disregarding down here. So, which we have seen over and over again. So we've got minor number 10, and we've got extreme or excessive mental here. Whew. Oh, yeah. No, that's all right, Carol. No problem. I think it's great. And they were struggling, and now I think they're struggling a bit worse. But I think it's important to highlight it because then people can go and help as best they can. Rough day. Glad you're here. Oh, we're glad you're here too, Spooky. Very glad that you're here. Thanks for joining. I was going to say, down that same road that we're talking about there, Carol, there is a youth shelter not far away from where I lived with my family. And so once a week, whenever we did our grocery shopping, we would get non-perishables. That's like apparently my favorite food. And we would take a couple bags over and just leave it on the steps to the door. It was kind of like, a May Day, a Mayflower moment where we're like, here's a bag of PB&J, bye. We just run. It's like, we want to help and support you, but we don't want any trouble either. We don't want to make anything difficult for you. So, and that was the number 1 requested item, everyone. If you're ever interested in assisting or helping or volunteering when it comes to our juveniles out there, no matter what their age. Oh, they love the PB&Js for sure. Especially like the Sam's where you get 2 huge peanut butters, 2 huge jellies, and then a whole bunch of bread. Anyway, I digress. We love that. You know what I'm saying, Carol. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Here we go. Back in. We've got mental pain here. And then we've got a 10-year-old over here. And now count 16. So we are really coming down to our final pieces here. Cruelty to children again. Now we've got minor 1. And I was wondering, everyone, minor number 1, because if we look back here, we start with minor 2. And it's like, oh, actually we started with minor 4. So I was like, well, what happened to 1 through 3? So those must be down here and have a different kind of harm, is what I'm thinking. All right, why it would be put over here. Snacks on it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this is 27 out of 29 found guilty. There we go. Let's take a look. So minor 1, cruel and excessive physical and mental pain. All right, so now we've got, oh my gosh. Now we've got both again. So physical, mental pain. Consciously disregarding a substantial unjustifiable risk that his act of allowing his son, a minor over whom he had custodial responsibility, access to a pew after receiving sufficient warning, that's a big piece too, that the kid would harm and endanger the bodily safety of another. And thereafter, the kid did pew this child with that pewer. All right. So this one, we've got physical and we've got mental harm done. And so count 17 up here. I just pull these counts out so we don't get too lost here. Right. Thanks, Kaya. Thanks. You can find advice tapping on the, oh no. Oh no. Oh my, okay, just 1 second. Just let me see. All right, let me see. Find it by tapping the quotes and live gifts. I'll take a peek here, but I'm just not sure. Oh no, that doesn't seem right. No, that doesn't seem right. Oh my goodness. I didn't do what I should have done. Oh, wait, here we go. Maybe this one's it. Nope, I'm just liking my own. Okay. All right, here we go. To live gifts. Let's see, is it on here? Did I find it? Oh, I did. Look, I found it, everybody. Look, I found it. What do I do now? Do I need to do anything with that, right? This is a pretty significant case. I don't know if I've said that enough, but all right. So, like, should I just do something or the community gift, right? But do I need to do anything or does it just like automatically go through, right? Like, let me see here. All right, everybody, we got this. I have a doctorate. We can figure this out. I don't know what to do. I have stress. All right, here we go. I don't know what's happening. Here we go. We'll set this as a goal. Maybe, did we do it? I don't know. Okay, we got it started. Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, it's counting down. Oh my gosh, that was a lot. That's a lot of stress, but I'm so glad you told me how to do it, everybody. I have a doctorate, right? No, that's not right. No, okay. All right, here's the thing, everybody. I'm going to need you to gaslight me tonight about that. Did we do it? Did I do it? It's done already. All right, I'll take it more seriously the next time. I'll figure it out. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to do this for Kaya and everyone else is trying to help me figure this stuff out. All right, well, thanks, everybody. Okay. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm not sure. We're gaslit enough from the orange. True, but... All right, here we go. We're back in it to win it, everybody. So, number 17, we have another cruelty to children. Second degree, and this one is minor number 2, right? So, because we started at minor 4, so there must have been something a little different. Let me just take a look. Child under the age of 18, a cruel and excessive physical and mental pain. Oh, maybe these have both. Maybe that's why they've been moved over here. They don't have just one or the other, but they have both. Oh, that's so sad. Next, here, we've got cruelty to children in the second degree. Right. VC's like, here's her Venmo. Oh my goodness. VC, I think it might be shown that I don't know how to do the stuff. So if you still would like to donate, you can go to the Venmo. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. I've got tears running down my face. That's all right. We can still see. Oh my goodness, everybody. Sorry about that. Physical ailment plus, yes, exactly. That's, thanks, Atticus, for coming by here, but yourself is on my stuff. Sorry about that, everybody. All right. No, no, no. Here you go. Come on over here. We got to read. stuff. We got stuff to read here. All right. This is like his favorite spot because the lights were. All right. We got a minor number 3 here. And that's a 3. You got 2 minutes, dude. And then I gotta boot you. You know why? I know, right? Oh, he's just mad because he knows he's going to have to get a shower. All right, so we've got excessive physical and mental pain again. So we're going to go E and M. So, right. And exactly what the definitions of that are means the office manager. We'll have to go through that section of the code also because we've got all kinds of levels of harm that can be done to people. Okay. That can be done. So we'd have to look in Georgia to figure that one out. All right, count 19. No, don't do it. Don't do it. He's teetering. He's teetering, everyone. All right, I'm going to need you to stop teetering. You can't go over here. All right, just a minute. Here we go. Cruelty of children. Again, here we are, which is not a laughing matter, but, you do what you got to do, right? Children in the second degree. Oh, seriously. All right, so this is mental pain here. Excuse me here. So we got mental pain excessive. So on this one, we don't have a physical pain, mental. And we've got minor, excuse me, sir. All right, okay. All right. We love you. You're adorable. Here you go. Show the people. Hi. Now off you go. Yikes. There you go. Thank you for your kindness, everyone. I know. Well, sometimes I let him come up here because I use this light whenever I'm reading anything. So sometimes he'll just come and hang out, but, not realizing that we're live. Yeah, he does. He says I'm doing a lot of things wrong all the time. That's okay. All right, minor 11, everyone. Here we go. We're going to make it. Again, mental pain here. What do we have down here? Cruelty again. Second degree, excessive mental pain. So we've got minor 12 here. 12, and we've got mental pain here. We've done a lot, even though we've got problems, huge problems in our mental health treatment. I have to say, mental health of children coming back from a crime situation, trauma, much better than it used to be. I would say it's much better even in the last 5 years than it used to be. The quality of the treatment, the availability of the treatment, again, I'm out in the sticks, but has been so much better than when I first started because that was really a sad situation. I've got a doctorate, but unfortunately that will not help me in most situations, right? I'm still paying full price for a Big Mac, you know what I mean? Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Another one. We've got a minor who's 13. Cruel and excessive mental pain. Oh my gosh. All right, so minor 13. This is how we can't ever forget anyone, right? Because it's just so important here. Right, so then we've got minor 14 here. 14. I didn't want to leave him up too long because I was afraid I was going to miss the puzzle piece. And that's fine. And he doesn't need to catch his tail on fire. Here we go. All right, we've got another excessive mental pain here. Again, and the reason I'm not reading through the rest of this is because it's the same. It's just copy and pasted depending on what code section that you want to use. Excessive mental pain here. half of what you do legal. Well, we'll get you there. I can get you half. Sued against, well, they should be. You got to follow the money, right? That's what you got to do. And that doesn't seem right, although I think this particular defendant had some cash. I don't know why I thought that, but I think he's got some that he can try. But you want to follow the money. That's why a lot of the parents, even I guess the ones that were the most recent that I saw filing was for Sandy Hook. And they were trying to go after the pew pew makers. And we still can't get over that hurdle. They are so well protected. They are just, right. They've got qualified immunity, the people that make them and the people that sell them. So as long as they follow all the rules, you can't go after them. They're, of course, the ones that have the most money. So then you need to go for, oh my gosh, a Galaxy. Oh, thanks so much. Oh, that was so sweet. I appreciate it. Well, they do. Yeah, we've got some problems. But again, this is a huge shift right here. Yeah. So they can't go after the gun company or the pew pew companies, but they can go after the school. And I think too, everyone, just to remind you, I think there was the 5-year-old, was it a 5 or 6-year-old, if you remember this, maybe last year, who had pew-pewed his, kindergarten teacher, I think. And she had tried to go after the administration over and over and over again, saying, wow, this kid's packing some. We need to get rid of it, take care of it. And they're like, well, there's only 20 minutes left of the school day. And then within those 25 minutes, her life as she knew it was destroyed. So that's a problem. Right. Exactly, user. Yep. Yeah, it's awful. All right, so also cruelty of children here. We got minor 15. Oh my gosh, we're at 15 children here, everyone, who are suffering mental pain here. I'm sure there's some kind of a test, not a medical test, but a legal test that they're using to decide how to declare if it's, mental pain or physical or both. That is just not being included here, but I'm sure they've got some kind of a test to use. Next, 24. Right, so we have another. Oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking. Here we go. Here's another. 16. So we've got minor 16 here. And we've got physical and mental pain. Okay. Mental. Oh, thanks for the dolphin, Kaya. I got that one for you. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, here, have a dolphin. All right, we're coming down here to the finish line, everyone. The counts. I just didn't do my homework last night. For shame. Oh, yeah, the brains are still developing. Oh, my gosh. And the trauma, right? The forever trauma. Oh, my goodness. All right, cruelty to children again. We got a lot of those here. So minor. And I'm assuming that's a huge felony, too. I mean, it's a felony that bumps up a lot of other things. But I would assume each one of these is going to be a decent size felony. So physical and mental pain here. Physical, mental. Again, this is a lawsuit against the father, right? The father of the boy that did the damage here. We'll be auctioning off the cat. Listen, Murray, I've been giving you a lot of room here, buddy, because you're funny. Maybe people don't understand you, and I think you're hilarious, but don't be coming after my cat, all right? We're going to have a stern talking to if that occurs. Now, if it's somebody else's cat, I don't care, but if it's my cat. I'm just kidding, everybody. I'm kidding. Oh, welcome back. Welcome. That's all right, Murray. But you've been warned. Don't come to my house, get my cats, all right? That's like the only happiness that I can have right now at the moment when we're going through these horrible bits and bobs. All right, we've got cruel and excessive mental pain by consciously disregarding substantial and unjustifiable risk. So again, the standard pieces are all the same, But what we're looking at is which number, so which child, and which child had what harm. So here again, we've got the excessive mental pain here. Right, as we, run before it's too late, Navy vet, you know what I'm saying. I'll come for you later, when you least expect it. Probably because I will have taken a nap and I will have forgotten. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go now. We've got regular reckless conduct. So we're coming down to the last couple counts. Let's take a look here at the exact language. So the grand juror selected, chosen, and sworn for Barrow County, Georgia, charge and accuse Gray with the offense of reckless conduct. In that said accused in the county aforesaid on or about the 4th day of September of 2024 did unlawfully endanger the bodily safety of Stephen Edwards by consciously disregarding a substantial and unjustifiable risk that his act of allowing Colt Gray, a minor over whom he had custodial responsibility, access to a pew. That's my cat sneezing. I'm sorry. Pearl is her allergies. She's got some hay fever. Access to a pew and ammunition after receiving sufficient warning that... Seriously, Pearl? Seriously? I'm so sorry. My cat. My goodness. I'm sorry, this may go on for a little while. Okay, we're just gonna stay focused. Warning that Colt Gray could endanger the bodily safety of another, and thereafter Colt Gray did discharge a pew multiple times inside a classroom occupied by said victim, said disregard constituting a gross deviation from the standard of care which a reasonable person would exercise in the situation. So again, we've got those elements of negligence, which is the civil side here. Oh my goodness. Because we're looking at the criminal, but they can overlap sometimes, right? So we've got reckless conduct here, and then we have another person. We'll just say SE as well. So that's count 27. And, yeah, sorry. I'm barely. All right, well, I'm not sure what's happening over there. It's fine. All right, and sticky notes, the last couple counts. The grand jurors selected, chosen, sworn for Barrow County again. The father charging with reckless conduct, right? And unlawfully endangered the bodily safety of David Phoenix. We're just going to do DP, consciously disregarding substantial unjustifiable risk, his act of allowing his son, a minor that he had custody of, access to the pews again. So we've got that reckless conduct. This is not a minor, so these are two adults here, so you don't have the cruelty to children element. All right, and here's our last one, everybody, and it's been a journey. Right, walking through the school. I know. Well, yeah, I don't. They're both looking at me, and it's like I'm not feeding right now. So we'll see what happens. My cat has weaponized her allergies, so we do have to be careful. Count 29, everybody, and then we will go through and see which ones. There were two, I think, that were not found guilty. We'll sort it out. So we've got reckless conduct here, and unlawfully endanger bodily safety of Cassandra Ryan. So I'm just going to put a C and an R here, consciously disregarding a substantial unjustifiable risk, right, that he created for this person. So, and she has suffered harm. All right, so with that, we have 29 counts. Now 27, thank you for staying with me, everybody. 27, they came back with. So my question then, you watched the whole trial. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I want to try to go and catch some of it if I can. But so VC or any of our Georgia posse out here who, what two counts then got bumped out? Can you tell? Can you tell, or was this the literal 27 and 28 that got bumped? I'm curious. Right, right. Okay. Oh, you said yes. So, right. So I'm sorry. Do you I can't see the verdict sheet at the moment. So, I appreciate you. Can you just tell me? Just make it up. Just make it up. You won't know. Unfortunately, yes. I don't know which ones. Okay, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it here. Right. So it's looking like it's not going to matter anyway because he's got life coming up, right? And we were talking about capital punishment, and that's on the table here too, is what I'm assuming for sure. I know I try to put people like I give them the least amount of notice for big questions. That's what I like to do here. Apologies. He deserved 29. Oh, it was count 3. Okay. Could be counts 3 and 4, because those go together. That would be very interesting if that's how that went. Then we would have lost 2 counts, and so it would have shown that the victim in the 2 counts here did not have enough for probable cause, or have enough beyond reasonable doubt. Plenty for probable cause, that's why it's an indictment, but you've got to get to that beyond a reasonable doubt level in order to successfully get it through a trial, right? All right, I can, right. Still has his trial. Really? Being charged as an adult? Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay, I can test the last minute. Well, there you go. Exactly. Navy vet, I tell you, you're getting a bit spicy. I hope you know that. I'm not sure. Okay, count 9. I'm not sure if it's because you're like doing these really cool lives or what, but you're getting a little sassy, and I'm here for it. Let me just tell you that. All right, here we go. Count 9. This is minor number 4. Here we had mental harm. Here, right? So excessive mental pain by consciously disregarding substantial unjustifiable risk. So I'm going to just guess in this situation here, we've got minor 4. I would guess the reason why this one didn't go through, if it didn't, is probably because they couldn't really determine the amount of harm that was done. I'm wondering, because that's one of the big reasons why it won't come through, if they're like, well, I'm not really sure that's the right level or not. Oh my goodness, Navy vet, stop confessing on TikTok Live. You can't do that. His trial as an adult, could be, for sure, convicted him as a minor. Well, right, exactly. And that's what reminds you that our courts are literally just 4 walls and you go in. So his case is like, you didn't take care of your kid and there was harm done. The other one is like, you're not a kid anymore. Once you're pew-pewing people, your kid days are over. Were there 2 for, okay, the only one, okay. I would be guessing then, yeah, I mean, we've only got 1 minor 4, so it's possible we've got another one. It could be, 2 pieces if they attached another count to this one, but that's all right. We're close. We're real close. All right, everybody. Everything else, guilty. guilty. Right? And that's unfortunate. Now, I think I've said maybe 50, maybe 75 times, I've said this is the case, the next case we needed in order to get some accountability to parents, not all parents, all right, but to parents who, like exactly in this case, you knew there was a problem. You knew your kid was going to harm other kids. You just were like, whatever, here's a pew-pew. Those types of situations where full knowledge is available on those levels, to me, seems fair to bring it to a jury and let the jury decide. That seems fair to me. Now, if you've got more like a Crumbly situation, but even there they had some problems. But if you have had no idea that there's any history of any kind of anxiety, depression, anything like that with the kid, and you're divorced, and so the other person, you had that with them, and so they brought it to the parent that they weren't staying with. Those kinds of things, I think you need to get worked out as well. But that kind of a situation's a far cry from what happened in this case, which is like the worst of the worst that could have happened, because the father was like, I'm busy. I gotta play my Candy Crush, so I'm not gonna care. And that's really awful. Okay, 21, let's peek real quick. I bet 21's got something to do with that also. So let's take a peek. 21, here we go. Yes, we've got mental under this one as well. So I'm wondering if they've got a couple of minors. We've got two minors with just mental pain, and it might be somehow the jury wasn't catching the evidence for that in a way that pushed them over, right? So I think that's, that makes sense. That could happen. But, thanks, Blue Heart. But I tell you what, 27 out of 29 for, here's number 9 again. That's huge. That's huge. Just landmark case. I'm assuming this is going to get appealed. I think right off the back. That was unnecessarily complex. That's okay. You're still a winner, VC. Everybody thanks VC for crafting that. Oh my gosh. Right, exactly. And they pick the other person. Like, the other one did it, not me, right? Like, well, you can't just put away your level of responsibility here. This case breaks the mold. This is the one we will be looking to when we have more parents' involvement in not making sure their kid was safe and sending them off to school. All right. I think that's a pretty big deal. And I might be a little bit, well, I don't know. I did juvenile law for quite a while, probably longer than I should have. And there was definitely multiple cases where I'd get a call from a parent and they would say, my kid is totally and completely out of control. And I would say, well, have they broken any laws? And they would say, no. And I was like, do they have a therapist? They're like, we can't find one and we can't afford one. I'm like, okay, well, go in to see if you can get some assistance with that, because we have a really good human services area in this little teeny tiny town I was in at the time. Like, go in and ask. There's benefits. No, we already asked. They don't have one either. So we were wondering if, there were two roads they would ask. If they said medication was required for the kid, then they could go down the ER, put them into the hospital realm, right? Like you would put someone into a mental institute, right? Like, so a 48 hour hold for mental health issues, right? That was one road. The other road that was available was coming up with some kind of a crime. And that way they would come to the house, the popo come to the house. There would have been some kind of crime occurring. And then the kid gets taken and put into, I don't know, we wouldn't put him into a PMIC if it was mental. That's what the PMICs were for, but we would have to place them somewhere, because you can't just put them in, big people jail. That doesn't work out right. But what was happening, though, everyone, and this is one thing, thank you, 72 hour, appreciate that. This is one of the things that I never really understood when I was doing these cases and with having my own kids, is this idea that you are so, I don't know if you're just like incapable of making sure that your child is safe in certain moments, right? And if they're not, we do have services for that. But a couple of these cases, it's like, well, they were just sassing me and they won't listen to anything and they won't go to school. That sucks. That sucks a lot. And I'm not saying those aren't problems, because they are. But that's not a problem where you need to make up a story and said, my kid hit me. You need to take him out of my house and say farewell. That kind of a situation in order to get the child taken care of. So those were the cases where it bothered me the most. Like, there's nothing wrong with this child. They are professional 14-year-olds, and like, that's their job. So those kinds of cases were really rough. I think you should have to take an IQ test to have kids. I tell you what, though, and again, because I'm telling everybody what constantly, I would remind everyone here that we had, well, I don't have it on me here, but some of the most prestigious attorneys in the entire United States pulled like a whole bunch of bull crap, right? Like the fake elector scheme, and then like Giuliani with like $500 million worth of defamation. There were some really high level thinkers. Meadows would be in there, and I'm thinking of all the people that got charged in Georgia, and so their IQ scores were great, but the people skills needed some work. For sure. Really threw a screwdriver at his dad. Yikes. Now, again, don't get me wrong, I have seen many cases too when the child is above and beyond out of control of what any parent could do. When you've got to get that person that has training to help that child because you don't have that training, I mean, that's another situation too. That's different than what we're talking about here. Oh, the Kraken. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, the Kraken. She's got a lot of IQ points. Bottom line is, I'm not sure that would be a good measurement for having kids or not, but we're required, we might lose a few. Well, right. I mean, I don't know. When we get into tests like that, we start getting into questions that we had over the poll taxes, right? And I'm not trying to pull, race, gender, man, woman language into the situation, but an IQ test or a standardized test of any kind, they're gonna have some problems. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be problematic from what we've seen in the past, which is why in the Constitution they said you do not need to take a religious test and pass it in order to be working for your government. That was part of the understanding in that area as well. So I don't know. I would say, in all honesty, if it's a married couple and they're like, we want to have a kid, you give them one paper bag, you put some survival gear in it, drop them in the middle of a forest, give them 48 hours. If they survive, they can have some kids. That's more of how I look at it. But if they don't, if even that knocks them out and they get in the river and it's like bye-bye time, like, that they may not be for you. Back to the TV, most of the rest of the house. Really? So it was this kid that did that? Because that has happened. Involuntary surgery to prevent. Really? Oh my gosh. I tell you, VC, that Oliver Wendell Holmes fella in the Buck v. Bell case is still good law. It's not right. On what you grew up with. I don't know. I just don't know how we would shape it. Because I think we would need, each, I guess I look at it case by case by case. And if you just give them a paper bag with some, survival gear, like how many sacks do you need? 50. Here you go. Off you go. And then we don't have to worry about, no, it's not fair. It's like, why isn't it fair? You got the same stuff in your bag that everybody else did. Everybody else did. Yeah. I mean, of course, we make light when it's too heavy to process. All right, everybody, I gotta go clean some sneezing up. It's We went a little longer tonight than usual, but thank you so much for coming by, everyone. I've got a ton more stuff to show everybody. I have I'm gonna need you to pay those tariffs back case. That's a good one. We also have here, let's just make sure. Oh, All right, we have a restraining order for, let me just make sure I know which case this one is. Right. Oh, yes. So we've got some more violations of for our immigrants, whether they had proper paperwork or not. We're having habeas issues where proper due process is still not being given to a lot of people who are in the U.S. without paperwork. So I've got lots more here. So next time I come back, I'll have to sit down again. I hope this was interesting. I know I really took my time going through it because there's so many things that come out in an indictment, different pieces of it that I think are just really important. So with that, have a great night, everybody. I'm not sure if Amanda's on or not, but if she is, feel free to run over there. I saw Legal Dad on earlier today, so that's always fun. And then I think Ethan was still on last I looked. So have a great night, everyone. I will see you all again very soon.